Why you should invest in an at-home basketball hoop. I'm Tony. Welcome back to Streetball Strategies.
Swear I was born for this. So motivated, driven by the thought of it. My vision's towards the win. The finish line doesn't exist till I'm crossing it. The difference in sportsmanship. You live for the game, I die for the sport of it. Came up with the warriors. The strong may survive, but the brave are victorious.
Today we're talking about having a basketball hoop at your home and why it's so much of a huge advantage for you. And we're not necessarily talking about the super expensive professional type basketball hoops at your homes, you know, the kind where you have to like lay down cement and then you have to place the stanchion of the basketball hoop in the cement and then build it up from there. It doesn't have to be that expensive or fancy. It can be something as simple as a portable basketball hoop where you have the base of it and you fill it up with sand or water to weigh it down, and then you have the stanchion and the basketball hoop coming out from it, and it's portable. You can move it around where you live. Those are usually relatively inexpensive. So while this is a street ball channel, when I say street ball, I'm not just talking about specifically being at a public park and playing ball. I mean playing ball publicly wherever you can. I was fortunate enough to have a basketball hoop at wherever I lived growing up, as well as my friends. But whether I was at my house or my friend's house, we always had basketball hoops to play on. You can probably imagine why that's such a huge advantage for super dedicated, hardcore basketball players when you're coming up throughout your career. Let's talk about why it's such a huge advantage and how you can maximize it. Real fast, let's start off with some compare and contrast. So what's the major advantage at playing at the park instead of playing at your home? Well, it's the fact that this is a public setting. It's a public park, meaning you have variety of competition out here. Anybody of any skill level, any talent level can come out here on any given day. Having that diversity can do wonders for your game, can give you experiences that you can only get in a public setting. Whereas playing at your home, you are really only limited to the people that you know and know you. However, the major advantage of playing at home, of being able to walk out your front door, back door, side door, whatever it may be, and be right at your basketball hoop, is that you have convenience. That convenience is a huge deal because the more convenient it is to get to a basketball court, the more likely you are to go and the more time you're going to be able to get on the court. Court time, court experience is the basis for building your abilities and your skills as a basketball player. The more time you spend out here, even if it's like you fooling around, even if it's putting up trick shots and stuff like that, at least you're on the court. At least you're experiencing playing basketball, even weird trick shots and stuff like that, just to have some fun, waste some time, put up weird shots. At least you're on the court, you're doing something basketball related, you're interacting with the ball in the court and the backboard and all that kind of stuff. You're getting experience, and because of that, you're going to be able to build your game faster than if you went to the basketball park even every day. When you come out to the park, no matter how close it is to where you live, making that walk or that journey to the court, no matter how close it is, think about it. You're a hardcore basketball player, so you're probably going to be out here all day long. And even if you live like across the street from the park, you know, it's still a pain, it's still inconvenient to have to leave the park, leave the court, go, you know, back across the street to where you live, and if you have to get water or food or go to the bathroom or stuff like that, it's still inconvenient to leave the court. And most people don't live across the street from the park. Most people have to ride their bike, walk, drive, you know, multiple minutes to get to and from the park. But when you're at home, you just got all your stuff there. You have food, water, bathroom, access to all of your stuff all the time, so you can just spend more time on the court. Even if you're by yourself, even if you don't have brothers or sisters or friends that live nearby, that means you by yourself, if need be, you can spend a whole lot of time on the court by yourself, practicing, training, you know, working on stuff that you may not be able to work on at a public court. Because if you come out here and you're trying to do a specific drill or a specific workout, and other people just start showing up to the court when you're in the middle of doing that work, well, now you have to share the court. It's a public court, so now your workout, your drill is pretty much over for that time because you have to share the court. But at home, especially because you specifically, individually, are probably more of a dedicated hardcore basketball player than anybody else around you, you are probably going to be on the court by yourself the majority of the time, which means you get to do whatever drill, whatever workout you want, whenever you want, over and over again, as much as you want. You get to spend as much time doing what you want on the court. And because I was lucky enough to grow up having a basketball court wherever I live, or going over to their house and having immediate access to their basketball hoop, you can only imagine how much time was put in over my childhood and teen years. So let's run the numbers real quick, and I'm just kind of doing this off the top of my head, which is how much time did I spend on the basketball court? How much time was allowed to me because I had a basketball court at my house every day growing up? So let's say I got that basketball hoop at home somewhere around age 8. And I spent most of my childhood and teen years playing at home up until around the age of, I don't know, let's say 22. And I spent most of my childhood and my teen years at home on the basketball court. Most of my time playing basketball was at home or at friends' houses, either training or practicing or even competing. We'd have our major game days on Saturdays when the whole neighborhood would gather at the park, but most of the time we spent at their house, my house, practicing, training, competing. So keep in mind, I live in Michigan, which means winter, which means you only get about 6 months out of the year to really be on the basketball court putting in work. And 3 months out of those 6 months, you're in school, because that's how the school year and system works in Michigan. So let's say 2 hours a day, every weekday that I'm in school, I'm able to get on the court just outside my house or friend's house and play basketball. So that's 10 hours right there. 2 hours, 5 days a week. And then on Saturday, honestly, without exaggeration, let's say I would put in about 8 hours out on the basketball court. And then on a Sunday, that would be probably another 3 hours. So for those 3 months out of the year where I'm in school, still trying to get on the basketball court as often as I can, we're talking 21 hours a week because I'm able to play at home or at friends' houses. 21 hours a week times 4 is 84, times 3 months is 252 hours for those 3 months. And then in the summer, when I don't have school to go to, we're literally talking 8 hours a day, Monday through Saturday. And then I'll be generous and say on Sunday, maybe only about 2 hours, but that's to sort of take away, maybe I didn't put in 8 hours on a Tuesday, maybe it was only 6 hours or so. So we'll say 8 hours a day, 6 days a week, and then 2 hours on Sunday. So that's 50 hours a week for 4 weeks, times 3 for 3 months, which is 600 hours for the summer months out of the year that I'm able to get on the court, and able to put in that much time because there's a basketball hoop right outside my door. So that's 850 hours for the 6 months altogether that I'm able to get on the basketball court per year. And let's say I did that from age 8 to about age 21 for 13 years. 13 years at 850 hours a year, that comes out to over 11,000 hours. And honestly, for me, it was probably even more than that because for about 15 months, I lived in the Philippines, and even in the Philippines, I had a basketball hoop right outside my door every day, and there, I could play basketball 10 months out of the year. And I did exactly that, so I had even more time during that stretch of time. And I guarantee you, if I didn't have a basketball hoop outside my door at all times, that number would be way lower. Even if I had to walk across the street to get to a basketball court, even it being that close, if I had to make that walk, just that little bit of inconvenience, that number would be way lower. Instead of being a 5 digit number, it would be well under a 4-digit number. I guarantee that, just because of the slight inconvenience that coming to the court every single time I want to play ball would create. Now, from age 21 and beyond, I did spend the majority of my time on the court at public parks. That's because I spent all of that time at home building my game. I would then go out to a public park every weekend and test myself through competition with friends and strangers, but for the most part, I would spend my time at home building my game, building my skills, refining everything. And it was being able to use all of that time, have all of that court time, that was able to make me the player that I wanted to be. It's all about enjoyment and convenience, because at home, like, I got all my stuff there because it's my home. And also at home, I could play music while I play basketball, while I'm training, practicing, even in competition with friends and family. I could play music at home and not feel self-conscious about it, because when you're at the park, right, and you like bring a speaker out here, as long as you're not a jerk, you don't want to play music too loud. You don't want to, make other strangers, parents, kids have to listen to the music that you're playing when you're out at a public park. When I'm at home, I feel much more comfortable playing music and, doing whatever I want on my property. And when you can do something like that, have music, have stuff that make you feel more comfortable, have you feel more at home and more enjoyable, that's also going to lead to you spending more time on the court. When it comes to what kind of portable basketball system, hoop that you should have for where you live, my recommendation is that you don't really need anything fancy. I did quickly go through Amazon just to see what was available nowadays, because in terms of recommendations, I don't know. I don't really have any. I haven't used a portable basketball hoop in 15 plus years. But I went through Amazon, I found what I thought I would get for a newer, younger, beginner player to use at home, and you can find that link down in the description if you're looking for ideas of where to start when it comes to looking for what kind of portable at-home basketball system you should use. It doesn't have to be anything fancy or expensive. It just has to be something that you can get shots up on and it gives you decent rebounds. So definitely, if you can, look into investing in an at-home basketball playing system. They probably cost more money than you have or want to spend. Maybe you have to save up for it, but I do think it is worth the investment because of the additional exponential court time you're going to get because of it. And look, you don't need to play basketball at home. It's not a necessity at all. There are plenty of great players, college players, NBA players that have gone on to have great, amazing, successful careers, and they only ever played in public forums. For me, having a basketball hoop at home is just a matter of better overall, deeper, more surrounding basketball immersion. It makes access to basketball so much more easier, so much more convenient, and that convenience leads to more enjoyment. The more convenient and enjoyment you get out of playing basketball, the more often you're going to do it. The more often you do it, the faster you're going to build your game. So shop around, see what's available. In fact, you don't even have to buy something at the store or online. If you're able to find something at a local garage sale or yard sale, people often sell portable basketball hoops at their homes from a garage sales or yard sales. Parents that have kids who they used to use their portable basketball hoop, but then they stopped, or they got older and moved away and they aged out of using that basketball hoop. A lot of times you will find portable basketball hoops for sale at those kinds of venues. Sometimes, for example, if you go on, say, Facebook Marketplace, sometimes they're being given away for free because parents have them. They want to get them out of their driveway, and so they just give them away, on certain public venues like that. And or you can kind of build your own. Like, you don't have to buy the expensive stuff at the store that is hundreds upon hundreds of dollars. That stuff is great as well, but you don't have to use that stuff. You don't need to buy that stuff. You just need a basketball hoop that works well and you can get good rebounds from, and that's pretty much it. And of course the key is you got to use it. You got to get out there. You got to put in the time. Hopefully if you have it at your house, you have so much convenience leading to so much enjoyment that you want to get out there every day and put in hours of work every day. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you found this video helpful, if you think you're going to be more interested, more focused on maybe exploring the possibility of having at-home basketball equipment or hoops, then please subscribe to the channel. Also, down in the comments, I'm sure a lot of you who are watching this already have at-home basketball hoops. And if you can, you know, advise, recommend, you know, down in the comments what equipment that people who are looking around for at-home basketball experiences are looking for. If you can recommend certain hoops or whatever your experience is, drop that down in the comments. Let us know, educate us so that we can make better decisions. Also, hit that thanks button. When you hit that thanks button, it directly supports the channel and it makes all of your comments below stand out. It highlights all of them. So it supports the channel, it makes your comments cool and stand out, and when you do that, know that I genuinely appreciate it. As always, like, share, comment, like I said. Hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever any video goes live on this channel. And until then, I will see you guys next week.
So get with the deal, it's real in the field, so kill it, be killed. You others should chill, compared to my skill, I constantly fail at trying to fail. Used to be dude that hated on the low, now haters brag that I'm the one they know. Now when they think and tell them who they show, GPS I direct them where to go.